Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So basically in the Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana update, I also talked about the Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance. I also showed many ways of how I think the crypto market is going to perform. It is a 30 minutes video, so basically a lot of information which you can get there. Also the kind of things like the bullish reversal and so on. I'm also talking about this today for the specific altcoins, but this update is going to be far more faster than the Bitcoin update. So basically, if we now look over SUI, we have said about SUI that we have two fair value gaps. The first one is here up to $3.68, and the second one is a bigger fair value gap. Yeah, it was actually almost the same size, but in one of those fair value gaps we should sell off, and this one I can take out. This one too. So the short trade, I'm also took out all my short positions of the market. So basically I closed everything. Why that? So what I think is that, let me delete this one here as well. What I think is, we have also said it in the update that in yesterday's update, that we can get a bullish divergence. If we get one, then we can get a bullish reversal. Let me take this one out, and you can see already we have a higher low in the RSI and we have lower lows in the chart. So this is a bullish divergence. So basically, if we now look, the target is the $3.35 to $3.30, and yes, we can still go there, but I think that the time for a long position is pretty good right now. So the risk to reward ratio is pretty good in my opinion. We have here a green trend line with one touch point, a second touch point, and a third, fourth touch point. And here we broke it to the downside and retested it again. Now we broke it to the upside and it looks like that we are going to retest it and hopefully get this. So basically, what I think is that if this is going to be the case, then for sure I want to be in long position. The long position I would save with the stop loss lower than the low here, and just try to hope that this here was the low and we can continue getting higher prices. So this is the plan right now, in my opinion. We still have the chance to sell off, and yes, we can still get a bullish divergence even if we sell off again. So then those two lows are going to be a bullish divergence, and then we have something like this. So our plan was that we should sell off into the purple box and from here get a bullish reversal, but for sure it can happen a bit earlier. We have already formed a falling wedge pattern. So if we break it to the upside, and I will give you here the price mark, it's going to be the price mark of $3.70. Then we can get into the top area here at $4.18 in my opinion. So I would just say, let's move on to the next coin. So what about Avalanche? So for Avalanche, we don't see any kind of bullish divergence. The opposite, we still have to build one. So it might be possible that the coins are getting maybe up a bit, Avalanche as well, but Avalanche is going to sell off into the $22 and then is going to form a bullish divergence. So that's why I put my fingers away from Avalanche. Also here, I closed my short position because in my opinion, we have set here breakout, retest, short into $22 and $21.30. Since the other cryptos are on support, have bullish divergences and can also break to the upside, Avalanche is also going up. And I can't promise you that even though we don't have the bullish divergence for Avalanche, that we get this kind of movement. Yeah, it might be possible that we just going to get this. So for Avalanche, I want to look closely for long entries. I can see one. If we break here the $23.36 to the upside, that's why this trend line is going to be green. If this is going to be the case, then the target is going to be $24.18 to $24.64. with the chance that we can even see the fair value gap up here at $26. So I would just wait a bit longer for Avalanche, and I would try to find some bullish chart pattern. So even if we sell off, maybe we get some kind of a double bottom pattern, which then breaks to the upside. And then here we can go into a long position for this price movement. So I will delete what I have drew here from the chart with the chance that we can still sell off a bit more. The target is still ongoing, $22 to $21.30. I don't want to give false hope, but it looks to me that we are close to a bullish reversal, and I don't want to be in short position when I see that. So what about HBAR? So for HBAR, we have said that 24.5 cents broke to the downside, got its retest. We have also said, yes, we can still get into the fair value gap up here. We went there. So from there we should sell off. I can take this one out of the chart. I have tracked on the 50 minutes time frame a small bear flag which broke to the downside, got its retest. So target was the 23 cents for HBAR. And we are so close to it. So in my opinion, we have two scenarios and we should see a decision very soon. So basically, if we break the 23 cents to the downside, then I think we can even get down to 20.2 cents. Yeah, maybe not that much, because this fair value gap here is the most important one. So we don't have to sell off down below here to 20.2 cents. If we break here to the downside, then it can go down into the biggest fair value gap and from here push. That's why I have drew this square here, where we have many lines in that. It means that we are going to take profits here, maybe 10%, maybe here 20%. And if we see a bullish reversal, then we can take the rest out of the trade. So we at least took some profits, and if the price is afterwards somewhere here, then we can close our position. In worst case scenario, break even. This is going to be the plan in my opinion for the short side. So basically I also closed short positions, all kind of short positions, but I would re-enter short positions once we break the 23.08 to the downside. Here is a trend line, a green one, 23.6 cents. It can indicate, since we have many touch points here, yeah, we have here 3 touch points or even 4 touch points where we came from the downside, so it was resistance. Here one where we had support, here second one support, third one support, yeah, here almost fourth, fifth. Now we broke it to the downside, retested it. So if we get over 23.6 cents, then I think HBAR is going to be long, at least here in the upper area of the falling wedge. And I have just tracked the falling wedge. So this is here the falling wedge. And if it breaks to the upside, which is currently the price mark of exactly 25 cents, then the target is going to be 27.6 cents in my opinion. And this is going to be a nice movement to the upside. So a potential of 16.5 cents, but for sure we have to break more to the upside. And yes, we need to see the bullish reversal first. Also here we have a bullish divergence on the chart. So everything looks good to me. Once the 23 cents breaks to the downside, then most likely the other coins also getting a new low. And that would be totally fine, because we still didn't meet our take profit area for the short trade. So still we have the chance to sell off, and the chance is very high. So what about Dogecoin? So Dogecoin is my favorite chart. Why? Because it looks like that. So we have said about Dogecoin, round about 22.9 cents. If they break to the downside, bear flag is going to get activated. Once the 21.8 cents breaks to the downside, then this head and shoulders formatation is going to get activated. If we now break the 21 cents to the downside, then another head and shoulders formatation is going to get activated. So I would be a bit careful for Dogecoin. Once we break the 21 cents to the downside, then I think with a very high chance 18.8 cents is going to be the target. But for now, we don't see any kind of bullish divergences. So what I can imagine is that if the other coins are going up, for sure, Dogecoin is also going up. Here is the first bullish chart pattern, this falling wedge. It breaks to the upside at currently 23.3 cents, but I want to be in a long position a bit earlier. When would I take it? So for that, it's going to get a bit interesting, because this trend line which we have here at 21.8 cents, it's not perfect. Yeah, it was perfect in the past, but with this bear flag, it wasn't. So basically what I would do is I would take this trend line and drew a box right here. So if we break it to the upside, then I think with a very high chance we should get into the fair value gap. Also here we have said we should see the fair value gap. We saw one and then sell off. I can take this one out of the chart. The bear flag also, it also worked. And this one looks here very messy. I think you all got what I mean with that. So basically, let me take this one also out of the chart. So we'll make this trend line green. So if I see some kind of a breakout over 21.88 cents, and this can mean that we are going to see something like this breakout, and then within that resistance box, we're going to sell off to retest it and then continue. That's what I want to see for a bullish reversal, and then I would be in for a long position. If I want to be very speculative, then I have to go into the 50 minutes time frame, and then you can see here a resistance which we can use as first entry. But here, if I jump into a trade, and yes, I might use this one, my position size is not going to be a lot. So 21.4 cents, if they break to the upside, then I can imagine that we are going to get into the box. But we don't have the confirmation that we are going to see far higher prices. So it might be possible that we are just going to see this afterwards. We really need to get over the box, and then we can say, okay, a new cycle opened, started, and we can seek for higher prices. So far, everything is still open. In my opinion, the target is still ongoing, 18.8 cents, but we would invalidate it once we break the 21.88 cents to the upside. So with that said, we see each other in the render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO update.